A guttural roar tears through the silence, announcing the arrival of a chrome titan. From Jay Leno's Big Dog Garage, these trucks don't just move, they dominate. They are legends, forged in grit, glory, and endless miles of the open road. Let's start at the 1957 Dodge Sweptside D100. When trucks were built for toil, Dodge crafted a rebel with flair. The Sweptside D100 was a pickup with muscle car swagger, its tail fin slicing through conformity like a blade. Chrome trim gleamed along its station wagon-inspired bed, and its Coralline white paint screamed Hollywood glamour. Jay Leno calls it the truck that dared to stand out. Only 1,200 were made at Dodge's Warren, Michigan plant, and survivors are rarer than a desert gem. The Sweptside's 315 cubic inch Hemi V8 delivered 100 for horsepower at 4,400 RPM and 285 pounds-ft of torque at 2,800 RPM, paired with a PowerFlight 2-speed automatic with a 1.9 to 1 first gear. Its leaf spring suspension, solid front axle, and 3.90 to 1 Dana 44 rear axle balanced style with a 4,500-pound payload. The interior featured a two-tone Coralline white dashboard, chrome trim Stewart Warner gauges, plush bench seats, a push-button AM radio, and optional power steering with a 24:1 ratio. Dodge borrowed rear fenders from the 1957 Suburban wagon, creating a sleek silhouette, but misjudged the market, thinking farmers wouldn't buy a flashy truck. Production halted in 1958 after low sales. Jay's restored Sweptside, with original 15-inch chrome hubcaps, polished trim, a rebuilt Rochester 4-barrel carburetor, refinished oak bed slats, and a rewired 12-volt system, is a testament to their era. The 1990 Chevrolet 450 for Jay's 454 SS, with its deep growl and chrome rally wheels, is one of 17,000 made from 1990 to 1993, but stock examples are scarce. This truck doesn't negotiate, Jay quips. Its 454 cubic inch V8 roared with 230 horsepower at 3,600 RPM and 385 pounds-ft of torque at 1,600 RPM, paired with a TH4 speed automatic with a 2.48 to 1 first gear, hitting 60 miles per hour in 5.9 seconds. The lowered suspension, with Bilstein gas shocks, 15-inch alloy wheels, and 275/60ths R15 Goodyear Eagle GT tires, gave it a hot rod stance. A heavy-duty radiator, transmission cooler, 3.73 to 1 limited slip rear axle, and 6 100-pound GVW are ensure performance. Owners modded or wrecked them in drag races, making originals rare. Jay's pristine example with factory fog lights, bucket seats, a center console, a rebuilt throttle body fuel injection system, and refinished black paint, is a preservation masterpiece. The 450 for SS is a heart-pounding thrill. It's for the guy who hauled bricks by day and smoked Mustangs by night. This truck is raw power, Jay says, eyes gleaming. Driving it feels like unleashing a caged lion, connecting you to every gearhead chasing speed. In Jay's garage, it's a roaring tribute to the 90s muscle era. The 1978 Ford F-150 Macho Holmes Tuttle Ford dealership gave the F-150 a wild soul. The Macho edition was a desert beast, with Macho decals, 33-inch Goodyear Wrangler tires, and a 4-inch Skyjacker lift kit. Jay's red Macho, faded like a sun-bleached bandana, is one of fewer than 900 sold, a survivor of a rowdy era. This truck is pure attitude, Jay grins. Revving its engine, the Macho's 400 cubic inch V8 churned out 169 horsepower at 3,800 RPM and 310 pounds-ft of torque at 2,100 RPM through a C6 3-speed automatic with a 2.46 to 1 first gear. Its 4x4 drivetrain featured a Dana 40 for front axle, Ford 9-inch rear with a 3.50 to 1 gear ratio, and a new processed 105 transfer case. Skid plates, Rancho 5000 rupee shocks, a chrome roll bar, and a 5,000 to 100-pound GVW are made it unstoppable. The cab had red velour bucket seats, a wood grain dash, a CB radio mount, a sliding rear window, and optional cruise control with a vacuum servo. Most were thrashed into oblivion, making survivors rare. Jay's restoration, with recreated decals, original chrome, a rebuilt NP-05 transfer case, refinished undercarriage, and a rewired electrical system, captures its 70s spirit. The Macho is a rebel's roar. It's for the kid tearing through the Sonoran desert, radio blasting Lynyrd Skynyrd, dust trailing like a comet. This truck says, rules. What rules? Jay laughs. Driving it, you feel the pulse of freedom, the thrill of a life unbound. In his garage, it's a monument to the wild road. The 1965 International Harvester D1100 custom model with a chrome grille, two-tone green and white paint, and a retro cab. It was rural America's heart. Jay's D1100, its paint weathered like a barn, is one of 500 custom units, a relic of grit. Its 304 cubic inch V8 delivered 193 horsepower at 4,400 RPM and 272 pounds-ft of torque at 2,600 RPM through a Borg-Warner T19 4-speed manual with a 6.3-to-1 first gear. The heavy-duty frame, leaf springs, and 5,000-pound payload were paired with a 3.54-to-1 Dana 60 rear axle, dual exhaust, and optional power brakes with a 1.5-inch master cylinder. The deluxe cab had two-tone vinyl upholstery, a chrome-trimmed dash, a heater dome light, and an AM radio. Most were worked to death, making survivors rare. Jay's restoration preserves every dent with a rebuilt transmission, refinished interior, and rewired 12-volt system, honoring its scars. The D1100 is a quiet hero. It carried families through lean years, hauled dreams from harvest to harvest. This truck is America's backbone, Jay says, voice soft. Driving it, you feel the weight of its story, the sweat, struggle, and pride of honest work. In Jay's garage, it's a tribute to the unsung. The 1955 Diamond T630, its Art Deco grille and sweeping fenders, made it a rolling sculpture. Built in Chicago's Cicero plant, Jay's Burgundy 630, one of fewer than 300 left, is a showstopper. This truck is art you can drive, Jay says. Tracing its curves, a 317 cubic inch Hercules RXC inline 6 produced 185 horsepower at 3,600 RPM and 320 pounds-ft of torque. At 1,800 RPM through a Spicer. 6,350 to 5-speed manual with a 7.4-to-1 first gear, paired with tandem axles for 40,000-pound loads. The cab's rounded dash, chrome Stewart Warner gauges, leather seats, wraparound windshield, and optional heater offered luxury. Its 4.10-to-1 rear axle, air brakes, and 10.00-to-20 tires ensured control. Diamond T's niche market and 1967 merger with white trucks made the 630 rare. Jay's restoration, with original hubcaps, a rebuilt clutch, refinished wood bed, and rewired electrical system, is a labor of love. The Diamond T inspires all. It's a symbol of an era when craftsmanship ruled. Driving it, you feel like you're piloting history, connected to its maker's pride. In Jay's garage, it's a celebration of art in motion. The 1941 American LaFrance fire truck built as World War II loomed at the Elmira, New York, factory. This V12-powered giant saved lives with a 1,000-gallon-per-minute pump and a 50-foot ladder. Its chrome bells gleam, one of fewer than 100 pre-war survivors. This truck is about sacrifice, Jay says. Voice heavy, its 572 cubic inch V12 delivered to 140 horsepower at 3,200 RPM and 450 pounds-ft of torque at 1,800 RPM through a 4-speed manual with a 5.83-to-1 first gear, paired with dual rear axles and a 4.5-to-1 gear ratio. The brass-fitted pump system, with hand-polished nozzles, a 200-gallon tank, and a 6-inch suction line, was an engineering marvel. War halted civilian production in 1942, making these rare. Jay's example, with original hoses, a restored 120 decibel siren, polished brass, a rebuilt water pump, and refinished red paint, runs like it's on duty. The LaFrance is pure heart. Its siren carries the courage of firefighters who ran to war danger. For Jay, it's a link to childhood heroes in Andover, Massachusetts. Driving it feels like carrying their legacy, a machine built to save. In Jay's garage, it's a towering tribute to valor. The 1970 Mack R-Model, its bulldog grille and boxy cab were construction site staples. Jay's forest green R-Model, one of fewer than 400 road-worthy, is a testament to endurance. This truck is tougher than steel, Jay says. Padding its hood, a 672 cubic inch Maxidine ENDT 676 inline 6 delivered to 137 horsepower at 2,100 RPM and 680 pounds-ft of torque. At 1,400 RPM through a Mack TRL 107 610-speed manual with a 9.03-to-1 first gear, paired with a tri-axle setup for 60,000-pound loads. The Spartan cab steel dash, vinyl seats, manual windows, and a 12-volt system was built for work. It's for 0.17 to 1 rear axle, Bendix air brakes, and 11R20 to 0.5 Michelin tires ensured control. Most were scrapped after grueling jobs. Jay's restoration, with original Mack logos, a polished grille, rebuilt Bosch fuel system, refinished frame, and rewired gauges, honors its grit. The R-Model is a worker's hymn. It's for the men who hauled steel to build skylines. This truck never quits, Jay says, voice full of respect. Driving it, you feel the grind of labor, the pride of a job done right. In Jay's garage, it's a salute to the working class. The 1950 white 3000, its rounded nose and chrome grille were pure sci-fi. Jay's black and silver 3000, one of fewer than 150 left, is a standout. This truck is a work of art, Jay says. Eyes wide, a 426 cubic inch super. Power inline 6 delivered. 200 horsepower at 3,400 RPM and 400 pounds-ft of torque at 1,600 RPM through a Fuller 5A6-0. 5-speed manual with a 7.88 to 1 first gear, paired with a tandem axle setup for 50,000-pound loads. The cab's wraparound windows, padded dash, adjustable seat, optional heater, and 10.00 to 20 tires offered comfort. Its 4.44 to 1 rear axle and vacuum brakes ensured control. White's heavy-duty Focus and 60s mergers made the 3000 rare. Jay's restoration, with original chrome, a rebuilt engine, refinished frame, and rewired 24-volt system, is a masterpiece. The white 3000 is a dreamer's vision. It's for the driver who hauled timber through mountain passes. This truck is hope, Jay says, voice soft. Driving it, you feel post-war America's optimism. In Jay's garage, it's a celebration of ambition. The 1963 Reo Speedwagon, a medium-duty hauler with a rounded cab and wraparound windshield. It was made for delivery routes. Jay's blue Speedwagon, one of fewer than 200 left, is a quirky treasure. This truck has soul, Jay laughs, a 331 cubic inch. Super Hurricane inline 6 produced 165 horsepower at 3,800 RPM and 280 pounds-ft of torque at 2,000 RPM. Through a Warner T98 5-speed manual with a 6.40 to 1 first gear, paired with a single-axle setup and 3.73 to 1 gear ratio. It's chrome trim, compact design, optional Motorola AM radio, and 4,000-pound payload made it a small-town favorite. Reo's 1967 decline made these rare. Jay's restoration, with original badging, a rebuilt Rochester carburetor, refinished interior, and rewired 12-volt system, keeps its spirit alive. The Speedwagon is a nostalgic embrace. It's for the driver who delivered milk at dawn. This truck is small-town America, Jay says, voice warm. Driving it, you feel the rhythm of a simpler life. In Jay's garage, it's a love letter to forgotten heroes. The 1980 Dodge Ram Prospector with chrome bumpers and a Prospector badge. It was made for the wild. Jay's silver Prospector, one of fewer than 1,000 with the Royal Say package, is a rare find. This truck is a survivor, Jay says, admiring its lines. Its 360 cubic inch LA V8 produced 175 horsepower at 4,000 RPM and 295 pounds-ft of torque at 2,400 RPM through an A727 for speed manual with a 6.17 to 1 first gear, paired with a Dana 60 rear axle for towing 7,500 pounds. The cab featured plush cloth seats, a wood grain dash, air conditioning, power windows, a tilt steering wheel, and a 5,900-pound GVWR. Its 3.55 to 1 gear ratio and front disc brakes added versatility. Limited production and hard use make survivors scarce. Jay's restoration, with factory decals, polished trim, a rebuilt Torque-Flight transmission, refinished bed, and rewired electronics, captures its frontier spirit. The Prospector is a pioneer's call. It's for the rancher who tamed the wild. This truck is freedom, Jay says, voice proud. Driving it, you feel the pull of the open range. In Jay's garage, it's a tribute to the individualist. The 1973 Kenworth W900, its angular cab, massive grille, and twin stacks gave it regal presence. Jay's blue and white W900, one of fewer than 500 with the original sleeper, is a gem. This truck is the king of the road, Jay says. Voice booming, a 450 cubic inch. Cummins NTC 350 diesel delivered 335 horsepower at 2,100 RPM and 150 pounds-ft of torque at 1,300 RPM through a Fuller RT 1-5 1313 speed manual with a 10.6 to 1 first gear. paired with a tandem axle setup for 80,000-pound loads. The sleeper cab had a bunk, curtains, a compact fridge, a 24-volt system, and 1R24.5 tires. It's for 0.11 to 1 rear axle and Jake brake-insured power. Many were modified, making originals rare. Jay's restoration, with polished stacks, original gauges, a rebuilt turbo, refinished sleeper, and rewired electronics, captures its majesty. The W900 is a trucker's epic. It's for the driver who lived on the highway, chasing sunsets. This truck is a way of life, Jay says, voice reverent. Driving it, you feel the loneliness and pride of the long haul. In Jay's garage, it's a tribute to the road's warriors. The 1958 Studebaker Transtar E7, its sleek cab, chrome-trimmed grille, and rounded fenders gave it a space-age look. Jay's T-Lan white Transtar, one of fewer than 250 surviving, is a rare gem. This truck is a time capsule, Jay says. Voice nostalgic, a 289 cubic inch Studebaker. V8 delivered 180 horsepower at 4,000 RPM and 270 pounds FT of torque at 2,000 to 100 RPM through a new process 545 speed manual with a 7.05 to 1 first gear, paired with a single axle setup for 6,000-pound loads. The cab featured a wraparound windshield, cloth bench seat, a heater, an AM radio, and a 3.31 to 1 rear axle. Its 8.5 to 20 tires and hydraulic brakes ensured agility. Studebaker's financial struggles and 1963 truck division closure made the E7 rare. Jay's restoration with original chrome, a rebuilt fuel pump, refinished interior, and rewired 12-volt system captures its retro charm. The 1960 Autocar A64, its boxy cab, massive grille, and rugged frame were built for logging and mining. Jay's red and black A64, one of fewer than 200 left, is a rare beast. This truck is a warrior, Jay says. Voice full of awe. An 855 cubic inch Cummins, an H-50 inline 6 delivered to 150 horsepower at 2,100 RPM and 700 pounds FT of torque at 1,400 RPM through a Spicer 1010. 10-speed manual with a 9.15 to 1 first gear, paired with a tri-axle setup for 65,000-pound loads. The cab featured a steel dash, vinyl bench seat, a 12-inch windshield wiper, and a 12-volt system for harsh conditions. It's for 0.33 to 1 rear axle, Bendix air brakes, and 10.00 to 20 to tires ensured grip. Autocar's niche market and 70s decline made the A64 rare. Jay's restoration, with original badges, a rebuilt Bosch injection pump, refinished chassis, and rewired gauges, honors its toughness.
Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more dives into Hollywood's hidden history.